So today is, I have to look at the calendar these days. Today is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. Hi, Gray, welcome. So lots of updates today. And we're going to start with Gina sharing a little bit about a card she pulled from a new deck. And then I'll pull a card or two, and then we'll just jump right in. We're just, as usual, this is our little social time to kind of get connected and in the same room. And then we will, and then we'll set to sacred service. I always, every time I go to say work, I'm like, no, sacred service. This is not work.
I started applying that to when I look at my schedule for the day, and instead of thinking about it as work, it's my service. So instead, I'm about to start my work for the day, I'm about to start my service for the day.
Beautiful.
Feels better. It's a good shift. Like somebody mentioned here, maybe it was Shannon, instead of reaction, response.
Mm-hmm.
That's been another helpful shift as
I
well.
feel like that was Ashika that shared that. I don't know why.
Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway.
So the short version of the story I just told is that I pulled this card and then thought, no, that can't be right. Silly me. Shuffling again, it fell out. So clearly it was for me and for us. It's Reduriel. And beautifully enough, since I'm working on 3 books right now, 2 of my own and 1 for somebody else. It's about writing. It's associated with poetry and the arts, creation, creativity, inspiration, and wisdom. So he will stir up your passions and help you to remember all the things that get your inner fires of inspiration constantly burning. So sowing artistic seeds, giving birth to fresh new ideas, becoming unstuck when you are working on something. He's actually one of the 8 great judgment angels of the heavenly throne. He's one of the few angelic beings who rank higher even than Metatron. He's the angelic scribe or recording angel, which is so perfect because I'm a sacred scribe for many people in this and other planes. And he's the leader of the heavenly choirs. Whenever he speaks or sings, a new angel is born. I feel like this is, I'm just picking and choosing from this page, but Reduriel knows that stepping into our full power can take us out of our comfort zone, and it might feel easier to hold ourselves back. But he guarantees us that if we dare to accept ourselves for who we are, he'll raise our vibration to the angelic frequency with his sweet and pure music, allowing our beauty, strength, and creativity to shine. So,
will you spell his name, please?
Rad, Rad, Ueriel. You can't spell Reduriel without you are rad.
Look at you, girl, going into slogans and marketing.
Oh, that's me. Taglines all the live long day.
Taglines all the live long day.
There's one right there. I always say I word good all the day.
That's so funny. Thank you for sharing that. So, you know, that there's never a coincidence, right? And that you pulled that card, that card really wanted to be expressed, and I've sensed that it wanted to be shared with us. So thank you for doing that.
I got the same hit as I was logging on, so I'm glad you validated and we got to share that.
And then the 2 cards that I pulled from the Angel Therapy Oracle deck is Archangel Raphael. And I love Raphael. I just like this is the healer angel, right? This healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. So your prayers for healing for yourself or others have been heard and answered by Archangel Raphael, the supreme healer. When I share what I'm going to share, like, you'll get that. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you. The supreme healer within the angelic realm. Raphael, whose name means God heals, gives you guidance and ideas about your health. So be sure to follow any intuitive impulses to exercise, eat healthfully, quit drinking or smoking, and so forth. Raphael can help you reduce or eliminate unhealthful cravings if you'll ask. He'll also increase your motivation to exercise. If you feel called to help others' health, loved ones, clients, and or animals, then ask Raphael to guide your actions and words. Beautiful. Raphael will send God's healing energy through you so that you're a conduit for divine light and love. Raphael is also happy to direct you to schooling for healing work at your request. Action steps: Archangel Raphael's healing energy is emerald green in color. Visualize this emerald green light surrounding anyone in need of healing support. Even if you can't clearly see this green light, know that you've successfully invoked its healing power. Awesome. So one of the messages that came through, and I'll just speak it now as far as health, is mushrooms. Like Sigma mushroom tea, like mushroom coffee, like mushroom powder, mushrooms.
I just saved a recipe right before this for mushroom pate. That's too funny.
Yeah. Show me, Gray.
Yeah, I got supplements called My Community, which I love. Yeah, just an immune support.
So,
and then I want to say,
yeah,
a group of I and I did 3 consecutive healings, all involving repairing the mushrooms and all of the fungus that goes around the roots. It was an amazing healing for trees as well.
That reminds me, I had mushroom energy come in, I don't know, close to a year ago now, and install an energetic mycelium network within my physical and energetic form. So all of the extra chakras that I work with, there's like 50 something now, they're all connected by this energetic mycelium network in a symbiotic ecosystem, energetic ecosystem. So it's my intuitive ecosystem. So if you feel called to do that, you can call in an energetic mycelium network. And it helps to, in meditation, grow it, feed it and grow it daily. Feel it expand through your body and connect in. So the chakras are no longer, in a line and connecting through funnels or whatever. They're all constantly communicating through this ecosystem like they do in the forest among the different trees and plants in the wild. And then if you also feel so called when you're in nature or anywhere, really there's living things in the ground, there's also mycelium network there. So you can use your network to connect in with the mycelium network of wherever you are and communicate with the ecosystem, provide healing, draw energy and support, whatever you feel called to do.
That's incredible. That sounds like next Tuesday. I would love that if we could do that on this call. I was taking notes, by the way, so if you see me looking over, that's what I'm doing.
It's funny, I bought a mushroom Halloween outfit.
I love this stuff. You can't make this up. Seriously, you can't make this up. Well, I've been getting the message for a while about, and we work so closely in this group with the elementals and in particularly the mycelium. And I don't know if you remember, but there was that one call where we were working. I don't quite remember what our action was of what we were like transmuting, but the fungi was called to work with us. We were called to work with them. So the second card I pulled is from the Work Your Light Oracle card book. So I'm going to just read this really quickly. The Great Gathering, y'all, the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Do you feel it? Intuitive hits Soul Tribe. You're being called to let your intuition move you physically. You're connected to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet. And as you travel and share your creations, something is rethreaded. This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level, or that you already are. You're being called to gather groups of people, either by leading them or becoming a part of a group that can support you and your soul's personal mission. You are part of a group of souls who agreed to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet. To raise consciousness so that we can continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come. One of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. So that's a message for sure. No hiding any of it. Like I'm about to be super public about like what I'm about to share with you. I'm about to be super public about it.
Wow.
When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you most need, those who are like you will gather around you.
Mm.
You are your tribe. They are just like you. And just as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you too. So here's the work your light activation. So I'm gonna hold the card to my heart, to my height. I have so much energy running through me right now. Hang on. Just need to breathe. So I'm holding this to my heart. Feel free to repeat this after me. I choose now to let myself be seen.
I choose now
now
to let myself be seen.
I am ready to call in my soul tribe.
I am
I'm
ready
ready
to
to
call
call
in
in
my
my
soul
soul
tribe
And create a web of light all over the planet.
and
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 create
create a
a
web
web
of light
of light
all
all
over the
over the
planet.
all over the planet.
Mm. And so it is.
So
So
it
it is.
So it is.
Ah, beautiful. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump in because there's a lot to share, and I'm gonna try and do it as concisely as possible. So in 2000, I'm just going to give this very briefly. In 2016, I was at a concert at the Hollywood Bowl. It was Sting and Peter Gabriel. And I had just taken this course, and my spiritual teacher at the time had this saying, feel deeper. He has a kind of a British accent. So he's like, feel deeper, you know? And I'm taking the energy of the Hollywood Bowl in this song that's called Love Will Heal Us All. And I'm taking in the energy of the entire Hollywood Bowl. Everybody's singing and swaying and like connected. And I did a 360 of turned out, and I just kept breathing, and I heard him in my head, feel deeper, feel deeper. And I was like, do I have the capacity to hold the energy of all 17,000 people in the Hollywood Bowl or whatever it was? So it started there. And then I'm going to flash forward. We all know about like a lot of the things that have, oh, there's someone waiting. Peter, okay, hold on. So there was the Peter, the journeys, JNS tours with Sandy, and experiencing non-physical journeying or travel in other dimensions, and in particular liquid crystal. So that was part of it. Was I'm called to right now use liquid crystal and teach liquid crystal, introduce people to liquid crystal. So that will be coming very, very soon, probably in the next like couple of weeks, if not sooner. And so I'm going to flash forward to Salt Lake City last week. So on Monday night, we went on a hike to somewhere called the Alien Tower. And I had to correct them. I'm like, they're not the aliens, and they don't like being called the aliens. And if we're really specific about it, we are the aliens. We're the newbies. It's not them. But it's this pyramid on the top of this mountain, and we did a song circle, and it was just really powerful. It was the remnants of the full moon as well. And there's been this green orb that's been hovering around. So taking pictures, and there's this green orb of the moon. That's all the light that's coming in is the moon, and there's this green orb. And then I did a reading for one of my soul family in Salt Lake City, and my Andara was reflecting on the page of the guidebook, and there was green orbs all over it. And I was like, the sun was way coming from the window way over there. So it was really powerful in Salt Lake City. And what I want to share about it was the first day we did a park called Liberty Park. And I was guided there. They wanted me to be by water. They wanted us to be by water. And earlier in the day, I went to a hot springs and did a hot cold plunge. So that's also part of the lesson, is like hot cold, especially the cold plunge, really important. And water, like we know we work with water, right? But there's really like the science of water, and water really is a powerful, I don't even know the words for it, right? Like, so I was about to say it's a powerful tool, but it's not even that. Like this card says, the box says, you are the oracle. So that also came through what we were talking about before, of the message that came through, and it's come through others, but we are the medicine. So that was, so my soul sister Letty played that on Monday night, when we were up on the mountain under the pyramid, this song, I am the medicine, everything I need is already within me. And I'm like, right. I've been saying that, they've been saying that, we are the medicine, we are the oracle, we are the crystal, we are the wand, we are the, like, whatever it is, we are that. And all we need to do is conjure it, embody it, like Gina was just talking about with the mycelium network. All we need to do is connect with that energy, and we are it, and it is available to us. So Gray posted something earlier, true healers don't heal, true healers are just the frequency that heals. So that is like reinforcement of that, of we are the frequency that heals. And that is our agreement of being here on this planet at this time. So the second time we did it at a park called Pioneer Park. And I was hesitant to do it there. It's downtown, and there's a large unhomed community there. Like, we're in their home. And my hesitancy to do it was, as someone who's very sensitive to energy, and there's a lot of also mental imbalance in that community, like I wasn't sure I was ready to take that on. And so while we're there, my friend is DJing, and I usually carry crystals with me, and often I carry snow quartz. I'm looking to see, none of you, Peter might have gotten a piece of snow quartz from me. So it's on the shores here in Washington, and I'll charge it up. And that's my agreement with the quartz, is that I can take as much as I want, but I have to give it away. So I charge it up, I activate it, and then I leave it other places, and I infuse it with energy, and I'll leave it places like, you know, this place could use some energy of whatever it is, like love, compassion, connection, courage. I'll infuse it, and then I'll leave it. So then it's connecting with the earth of wherever I leave it. And that was part of why they wanted me to be in the water, by the water the day before, was to infuse the water of this pond of this park. So while he's DJing, I'm walking around and I'm starting to connect with the trees. And rather than leaving it at the base of the tree, I'm guided to, like, the trees, the bark of the tree had these little like pockets almost. So I was sticking the crystals in the tree, and these trees needed so much love. They needed so much energy. I've never experienced that in the quantity that I did. And they were like, and so I was guided to put it in the pockets of the tree, so that it could then go into the ground and like spread out and into that mycelium network. The trees also wanted tuning fork tune-ups. So like I do with people, where I put the stem on people's sternum, I was putting the stem on the like trunk of the tree, and I was guided where to do it. And I could feel the vibration in the tree. So the last bit of that is that I have a bag of Slinkies, and then my friend Willow, I gave her crystals to give out, and she also was putting them in the trees. I was like, yeah, I was guided to do that. She's like, I did that too. I was like, okay, good. You got the memo. So I have a bag of Slinkies, and one of the homeless people took the bag of Slinkies. And I was like, oh, my bag of Slinkies is gone. I'm like, well, at least they didn't take the tuning forks. So I'm walking around with doing my Slinky spiral, energizing the park. And I look over and I see my bag of Slinkies in their box. And I walk over, I'm like, those are mine. I'm going to take that. Thank you. And I said, do you want one? And she said, yes. So I gave it to her, and she's like, what is this? And I told her what it was. I said, it's a toy, but it carries really good energy. And then I went back, and as we were packing up, the same woman came over to me, and she's like, can I have another one for my cousin? It would make them really happy. And I was like, sure. So I noticed there was a little bit of resistance to me, right? Like, and then I said, sure. And then she's like, I didn't take it. She's like, actually, it was my cousin who took it. And I said, so your cousin stole from me and now wants one, right? But I'm laughing about it. So I give her one. Then on Friday, so I come back Thursday night, and Friday is really what I want to share with you about, but this is kind of the lead up to it, is I came back because I had a ticket. I bought myself a ticket for my birthday to New Order and the Pet Shop Boys, two of my all-time favorite 80s bands, and they're performing together. So I bought myself a ticket, went to the concert by myself. And on the way there, get a text message from my friend David, that I consider my best friend, my brother from another mother. And he texts me and says, I just wanted to let you know I love you. I have to have open heart surgery. And, I'm home now. And he also is on like dialysis, kidney dialysis. So I call him and I talk to him on the way to the concert, and he's telling me about what he's been dealing with. So I go in, and I'm sitting on the, like, how arenas are, where there's the orchestra, and then there's the second tier, and then there's like the first balcony, and then the second balcony, sometimes a third balcony. So I'm the first balcony, second row, right in front of the stage. And nobody's dancing. I'm like, oh, this will not work. So I'm looking around like, where can I go? And there's nobody sitting in the front row right in front of me against the railing. So I say to the woman, I said, would you mind if I moved up? So she says no, and I do. And so that way I can stand up, because the only person that I would be blocking is me if I was sitting behind me. So the whole time I'm like dancing, I've got my Slinkies, I'm like going off, and I'm wearing my Andara. So at one point during the Pet Shop Boys, they're doing this thing. So we've had this conversation before. I know I've had it with Christy Wallace. of like, are the lasers during shows light codes? Like, are they doing light codes? Now, I don't know if you remember or if you're new to liquid crystal. So liquid crystal can change form. It can be laser-like, it can be mist-like, it can be like lava, it can be really opaque, it can be really watery, and it can be anything, all crystals, no crystals. So you can choose the crystal, like you can choose it to embody any crystal that you want and the properties of. So I've been doing this as I've been out at clubs and as I've been at concerts. I've been infusing the energy of the like fog machine and the mist. I've been infusing the energy of the lasers. So at this concert, the Pet Shop Boys, now I either they're starseed or like they're in on it, or they were being like, they agreed. Like it felt like all of what I've been doing was for this moment up until now. And then there's what's next, but like up until now. So they were doing this, and I don't even know the song, but they were doing this laser tunnel that was like, it was a total portal. So it's behind them on the screen. The entire audience is seeing it and going down this tunnel, this journey. I was like, oh, it's on. So I'm doing light language. I'm using my slinky. I'm totally like harnessing this portal and like guiding the arena to it. And at one point it was like, and then they were using a purple laser, and the purple laser was totally the color of my Andara. Like my Andara was like glowing. It was crazy. And then there was green. So I'm harnessed as Archangel Raphael, just as speaking of, right? Like I'm harnessing that green energy, and the colors that I work with the most are ultraviolet, gold, green, and white. So gold is also like really come up to be used. This, I got this for my birthday. This is from Eric. It's a gold organite. Super, super powerful energy. And in another like journey that I did, I was guided into space. Like in the journey, in the meditation, was guided into space. And during what space looked like to me was gold. It was like gold and black. It was like, it looked like liquid crystal that was gold, but it was kind of crackle crystal, if that makes sense. So, so at this concert, and then the joy of the energy, that high vibration, I was harnessing that, and I was sending it out to everybody. And I was also sending it out, sending the healing out, particularly the green, to my friend David, and to my friend Barbara, who recently had surgery. And I invited in everybody. I was like, any angel, archangel, star team, star family, ascended master, anybody who wants to come on. And Palladian, Arcturian, Link Lemurian, come on. Everybody come on. So it was like the arena was full. Like so we've talked about it before, right? Like this is part of why I do have people breathe the tuning forks, is that non-physical energy pops on an existing current. So these non-physical energies were hopping on the current of the lasers. They were hopping on the current of the like the energy in the space. And at one point, and I'm just like full on. So this is also what I do with the cosmic playground, right? Like I almost moved, and then I got, okay, this is perfect. This is why I came to this show by myself. This is why I chose the seat that I chose. This is why I'm at the edge of the balcony and I can see the entire arena. And and this is why I came back, and this is all of it. And this is why I've been doing the cosmic playground, where I've been like inviting people's inner child out to play, and I've been like shifting the energy, and as Eric would say, I take a full bottle of fuck it all. You know, I was just like, I was full throttle. And so at one point, I'm dancing with my slinky and I'm doing the slinky spiral and I'm like doing it all around the arena. Like I'm sending this energy out. And it dips down and it interacts with the laser. And it looked like I was dancing with light, like literally dancing with light. And so I'm like, okay, I'm taking you in. I feel it. Let me send it out. It's like, and I'm doing this like full circle thing. I'm dropping the slinky down. So it's like, I don't even know if the people beneath me saw it or not. Like, I'd be curious to find out. And then there's this woman, this young woman. Sorry, I don't know what that's about. Release, let go. Okay. So this young woman is sitting behind me, a couple seats behind me. She says, I love your slinky. She says, I've just started playing with slinkies like maybe 2 weeks ago. And she makes videos and she gives them names and all that. So I told her, and I think it was her mom, I said, I just activated this whole arena with this slinky. And so she was showing me some videos, and during the like intermission between the two acts, I showed her some tricks with the slinky, and she our souls knew each other for sure. Like there was some recognition. I don't know who she was for me before. And I told them, I said, I've never told a stranger this, but I am a light worker. I am an energy worker. I am a multidimensional being. And tonight was a really, really big night. Like it was a big night. And she's like, that's awesome. I was like, yeah, well, cool. Well received. So I share that with you all because there are things we have been doing, tools we have been working with, things that have come up into our radar screen that are like, it's now time for us to be that. And there were a couple of books. So those that are watching that may not have access to this yet or being at this level. So the first book is Metatron. This is your clarion call. It is how to be in your light body and how to work with your Merkaba, however you pronounce it. The other one is the Sophia Code. I've had this on my bookshelf for months and months. On the plane ride back from Salt Lake City, I was listening to it in Audible. You got it. Nice.
I'm reading it now.
As am I. So maybe there's some kind of like book group involved with it, like that we dialogue about it. That's what I was called, is like to put it out there. Like, does anybody want to like read this book together? And then the third book I just picked up from the library yesterday. So many of you know I am I'm studying QHHT. So I am in the process of studying to get my level 1 certification. Don't know what I'll do with it, but it's been really apparent that it is like, it's going to offer me access to something. And this is Dolores Cannon's book, The 3 Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth. So this came into my life yesterday. So I think also the message is like, I don't even know how many people the Climate Pledge Arena holds. It's huge. I mean, it's probably like 20, 30,000, something like that. Like, and it was almost sold out. So we're ready. we have everything we need to work with that volume of people, of humans. And there's going to be opportunities. So the opportunities now are going to start to show up more and more. So this is also, I have goosebumps. I have spirit bumps. That's what I call them. Like we're ready. You have everything you need. Is there anything else to share about that? And this was the other thing. This was the other thing. So while we were at this is the last bit, and then I would love to hear the update, Cynthia, or if anybody has anything that like came up for them as I was sharing. And for sure, I would like you to do the update, Cynthia, before we get off this call. So while we were at the hot springs, we did Hape, and it was really like a beautiful kind of purging. And there was a ladybug and on the like rock between the hot springs and the river, which was the cold plunge. I was like, there's a ladybug. So I don't remember if it was New Order or the Pet Shop Boys. I think it was the Pet Shop Boys, but at the end of one of their videos, there's a ladybug. I was like, all right, heard. So it's like there are no coincidences. There are no like, there's nothing fucking random. There's nothing random right now. So when those links happen, pay attention because they're going to start happening with more frequency and like more velocity. Yeah, so that's that was my weekend. And it just feels good. Like it feels so coming home, and I just kept anchoring in. Like I was just like, what? Like it just was. I was pure channel of joy, and that's our light body. Like that's our new earth body, is like pure joy, pure bliss. Really, really, really. I don't have words, so I'm just going to say really a bunch of times. So I am complete. Thank you for letting me share that with you all. And if anybody has anything that came up, or if Cynthia, you want to share your update, and then we have our like cuddle puddle at the end of sharing. I'm open to however that looks.
Sure. So, all right, just to give you a quick history, back in July, I was working in person with the group, and one of our group members, we were dealing with a very, very dark entity, and she ended up blowing out her energetic meridians. Like it was bad, right? So that's when I started reaching out to the galactics. So for the last, since then, July, I've been working with them, and it's been very interesting because what's happened is, and I want to say this, I just got done reading Elena Danon's book, The Cedars, which was really good for me because it confirmed some of these things. And in fact, it confirmed all of the things. So
Nice.
What has happened is this. So I started working with the Galactic Federation, and then ended up connecting with a higher aspect of self, who I'd never heard of, the Intergalactic Federation, but it's a real deal. So the difference is, if you want to think of the organization like a company or whatever, the Intergalactic Federation is universe-wide, and the Galactic Federation is sort of a subset of them. But the difference is the Intergalactic Federation contains what they call cedar races. Those are races that they're the ones that co-create with Source. I'll put it that way. God works through all of us.
CEDAR?
CEEDERS. And they, for example, maybe 400 million years ago, they stopped by and planted some stuff, and then they leave to let the planet do its own evolution. But check this out. So here's what I found, because I started having these, you want to talk about healing on a mass scale. Their technology is beyond the beyond in the etheric. They do something called holding the grid, right? They'll hold the grid, but they'll do it 3, 4, and 5 dimensions simultaneously. So now we've moved out into healing, not just the planet as a whole, but in multiple dimensions and multiple planets at the same time. It's been unreal, you guys. But just so that you know, they're here and they've been making their own upgrades to the etheric plane for the ascension of man. And all of us, or humankind, well, all life, all of us right now who are aware of our connection energetically, we're all getting downloaded as much as we can possibly take so that it will go into the collection for the ascension, right? And
Yeah.
that's exactly what they're doing right now, these multiple frequencies that are coming through. So there's a lot more sacred geometry you're going to see start manifesting physically. You'll start seeing people sharing on social media. Look at this. We can't figure out the light source. Why is this on the wall? It's already happening. You may experience in your meditations new colors. They're more subtle 5D energies that are coming through. They're more pastel colors, so to speak. So you'll see those coming through. Gosh, I think that's a good enough update now. Taking my time if there's any questions.
Have you been told anything about the Rays coming in to help us? These group of people called the Rays?
I don't know anything about any specific group, and honestly, it's so weird. Like my experiences, most of the time I can't corroborate them. Like I've interacted with species that I've never seen a picture of. I don't know their name. I don't know. So there's all of this stuff coming through, but did you have a question about their information that maybe I can help with?
No, I just had a download like a month ago or 3 weeks ago about how there would be this group of people coming to assist mankind, and they would be very enlightened beings, and they would look almost fragile and weak looking, but they're very powerful, and they were here to help us ascend, and move into the next frequency. So I was just curious if you had, when you were in with the galactic people, if maybe you had heard about them at all.
I haven't, but I will say this: the amount of ships that are here there's a lot of them. Like the Earth is the greatest show in the universe right now.
Yeah.
Truly. So it's spectacular. It's interesting to live in this duality and see all of the anger, frustration, and fear on one side. But in my etheric life, the reality that I'm living is unbelievably magnificent. It is glorious in its potential. And I've seen the other side of it, and it's beautiful, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God.
Thank you. Are you complete?
I'm done. I'm complete.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you inspired a couple things that I forgot to share. So one is that part of what I've been dealing with is that very clearly light worker, work with light, work with frequency, right? Like I'm clear about that. I'm also really clear that I'm a shaman or medicine woman and work with the elements, work with the earth, work with, Mama Gaia, work with the plants, work with the trees, work with the elements, part of like the Fae realm. Like I've been told before I am some kind of like, I have been some kind of like royalty or something in the Fae realm. So we're going to start experiencing more of that. And it's been this for me of like, I'm like called to do something light worker-ish, like what I did on Friday. And then I'm called to do something with the elements. Right. And so we have all been all of it. And as we start to really step into this ascension or this new earth, is like we will be all of it all at once. And and so I've been caught in like trying to figure out what it is. Like, is that a past life, or is this how I present on another dimension, or is it doesn't matter, we don't have to figure it out anymore. Like,
Well, let me know.
Yeah.
For the last 3 months, I've been working with the Akash. Another new thing that came online is access.
yes.
Same here.
Um,
Yeah, that's new for me.
When did it come in for you?
Last week,
Wow.
yeah, I would say Friday.
That's awesome.
Can you define what you mean by the Akash?
The Akashic Records.
Oh, the records. Oh, okay.
I was
So-
just being hip and cool and using a nickname that sounds a lot like a cereal.
Slang. I
the-
need the Akash, you know, like,
The Akash, the Akash,
Me and Akash go way back. Yeah.
you know, I was like, I had all the interstellar VIPs, like, come on, come in, come on, come be the lasers.
So you know, Cynthia, the Akash is, my understanding is it's similar to the void in that it's the everything and nothing. Or maybe it is another word for the void. It's the everything and nothing. And within the everything and nothing are the records.
Oh, I
As
didn't
well as other
know
things.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, okay, so here's another new thing, you guys. 3 times now, I've been to the halls of Amente. Those portal accesses are opening now too.
Hmm.
It's amazing what's happening.
I don't know much about that.
Me neither.
I didn't either, but Gina, I have a question. So the Akash is like a realm like the void, and then within it are the individual records, like a library, as it were. Is that right?
I feel like my sense is the Akash is another word for the quantum realm, in which there's
Okay.
everything and nothing. My healing space is created in the quantum realm, which is how I can work remotely. And so there's a place that seems physical to me that's not actually someplace I can go to incarnate.
Got you. Interesting.
But it's a stable physical place within the quantum realm.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
Oh.
that really resonates. That like
Yeah.
the way that you describe that, because recently I've been using my physical computer, and this is actually how it kind of linked me up to the Akash. Was I was using my computer, but I had a crystal that kind of reminds me of a remote control. So I was kind of guided to use it as a remote control and just actually use it as a mouse, actually. And so as I was guided to like lift my head up, literally, like I just started to gain different access. Whereas, you know, we think of our computers as linking us up to this internet world. When I kind of released that attachment and was guided to go up, was a different kind of access started to come in. So I really resonate with how it's a real physical place in the quantum realm, but it is definitely in the quantum realm.
Right. And the quantum realm is endless, and all things are there and not there.
Right.
And therefore possible. There's another interesting shift that happened too, right before the equinox. I think it was a week before the equinox. I experienced a massive shift in the number of trapped emotions I'm able to transmute. It was dozens, and then hundreds, and then thousands, and then hundreds of thousands, and I thought that was really good. And then there was a shift that week where it started to go into the millions, hundreds of millions, and now billions. Sometimes a single compound will be billions of trapped emotions, or we'll do 3 or 4 compounds and it adds up to billions. So I was kind of asking around, I think I posted in the group too, does anybody know what's going on? And
you did, yeah.
a couple different people, I think not within the group, but different clients and whatnot who are also healers, said in different ways that there was a consolidation of the timelines. One friend who's connected with the Galactic Council and all of that good stuff said that she was working with Kuan Yin, who was consolidating the timelines. And that's why we're able to access more, because it's not sort of all over the place. It's all in one place to more easily access it.
That totally makes sense. And both Cynthia and I work really closely with Kuan Yin. Like she was my first guide that presented to me. So, and she's been peripheral because I've been working with some other beings, right? But she's always available. And she was the one who showed me how to do liquid crystal as a mist.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I connected with her through Sophia Code. That book. Yeah.
You know,
I'm excited to read it. I'm so excited to engage with it. I have the audio as well.
Well,
I
the
want
audio-
to say one thing really quickly though. That before we move on from it is that what I was told about Akashic Records is that it is like a library of sorts, and we have our own librarian who is our like mentor, teacher, guide, something like that. So I don't really have more to say about that, but it's like, and I haven't really engaged with it. I do know someone who works very closely with Akashic Records, and I was gifted a session with her, so maybe it's time to, I did reach out to her, but maybe it's time to do that. But if we know someone who is that you?
I mean, I do work in the Akashic Records
Okay.
directly and indirectly all the time.
I think Shannon does too.
I think she does, yeah.
I would really be interested in hearing more about that, like what your processes are and what you're capable of doing. I'd like to learn from people who have more experience.
That would
Like
be
Ray and I are brand new at this, so right? That'd be cool.
that'd be a
And
fun
I,
one.
and I am too. I mean, it's been in the peripheral, but it hasn't been my focus. And then Akashic, I can ask as well if she'd be open to speaking something. That's the other thing, is that I keep getting called to like podcast or something, like where I'm gonna start to bring other speakers on, you know.
Well, I'm sorry for interrupting, but okay, so this happened to me 2 days ago, right? I have a resistance to becoming a messenger, right? There are a lot of starseed light workers, no, those of sacred service, who are messengers. And it's almost like first wave, second wave, third wave volunteers. The first ones take the biggest slings and arrows. You know, the people who were brave enough to put themselves out there. It's not an easy thing to do, right?
Yeah, no.
So the card that you read said, now is the time. Well, 2 days ago, I was given the message that I need to start writing or recording or whatever, and I don't want to do it. But it's coming through that, and so anyway, very timely that you
So
read that card.
Here's what I can tell you as well. I don't know if you've ever watched or actually listened to Share the Prophecy.
I don't know it.
So I posted it on the Cosmic Playground. I'll post it again. She is a very like high level, whatever you want to call her, healer, energy worker, medium, channel, whatever. And and so she does it anonymously, but she gets the message out there.
Oh, that's an idea.
Asks people to share. It's like, you don't have to put your face to it. In fact, it's probably even more powerful if you don't.
Or yeah, don't put your face on it, disable the comment section and just post it and not have to deal with all of the stuff that goes with it.
But also allow yourself to unleash without thinking about who the audience is.
Mm.
Just let flow whatever needs to come through, and don't worry about whether or not anybody's actually ever going to see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like release all expectations. Well, and then I'm having another slight block. I'm being asked to channel, and I can't do it, and I have resistance to that because of all of the experiences others have had. So having said that, all of the protection arts that I've learned, I'm glad that I've learned them. And I guess it's time to let go of all resistance and let everything flow, maybe.
We can have a conversation about that as well, because that's also for me, and how channeling shifted for me. It started with cards and channeling like spirit loved ones, right? And then my guides were super smart because they knew decks, you know, cards were a tool that I was really comfortable with and familiar with. So they started to come through during the readings and through cards. And then there's a way to set it up before you channel, where you are simultaneously protected and open.
Mhm.
And then when I was, my light language started to kind of come in like November-ish of last year. And then in December, I was in the rainforest by myself, full open channel, me and the moss, like it was a thing. Me and the moss. And then I was in Southern California and was with Gina and Jenna and Christy and Sandy and Paul. And that was like full channel. And then on my drive back, I stopped at sunset at El Matador and did a like live channel of light language in public. It was the first time I'd ever recorded myself. It was the first time I'd ever done like a full. So it might not be like a speaking channel to start with, right? Like it might be.
And there's more to it, and I don't want to take the last few minutes on this, but I was literally downloaded with an etheric implant from the intergalactics for that purpose. So it's a little different of a story on my part, I have to say. And I don't like, anyway, whatever.
But so this is perfect for you right now, because that's what this was. That's all this was.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, yeah, all in good timing. Thank you for giving me so much of your time, guys.
Oh, absolutely. That's why we're here.
And you know, I used to, on my other Facebook page, I used to post messages that I was told and mix them in with astrology. And then I got locked out of my Facebook account. So I don't know what that was all about, you know. But I started a new Facebook account, and for some reason I just haven't been able to like get on there and keep doing that, you know. And I'm wondering if I'm supposed to switch to, because I was just writing stuff down and people could read the message. But I'm wondering if I should start to video it and do the light language, because it's funny, when a couple of weeks ago you said I was going to start doing light language. Well, I had already started doing it, but I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? I was like, what is happening? Because I'm a singer, I'm creative. In the middle of the night, I'll just suddenly I'll think of a song and I'll have to get up and write it all down and record the song, you know, because that's when the inspiration hits. So like, so now I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm also supposed to be giving out the messages through video now. And I'm not afraid to show my face, because I'm used to being laughed at and told I'm a weirdo and everything, you know. So I'm good with all that. But we do have to be careful as messengers as well. So we do have to protect ourselves. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And as astrologically also, now is a great time just to focus on the gifts that you already have and move forward with those gifts into the direction you feel you're being guided towards. And if something else, like if you like, it's not a great time to start a brand new project that you've never had anything to do with before. It's great to maybe learn more about that right now and gather some more information, and then maybe wait until you get the code or the message to start it. Because there's just a lot of crazy AI energy out there too, and a lot of negativity, and we have to decipher what is really right for us and what's maybe trying to attach itself to us.
Right. Yeah, so I thank you for sharing that. And if you remember, not only did I tell you you were going to be speaking light language, but I told you you needed to start doing videos. They told you, I didn't tell you. It came through my mouth, but it wasn't from me.
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge that it's 12:04, and I want to complete with one thing, which is in response to what you said. So that phrase, be careful. Be careful. So we don't have to give that our energy. all we have to focus on is being the higher vibration of being like, when we are that high vibration, when we're that channel, when we're that, like, whatever it is, there's no need to be careful. We are source
Yeah,
of that
I
at
think
that
you're right.
time. And
You know, I'm going to play devil's advocate on this
yes,
and
okay,
give you a different, like a whole different perspective. That's a beautiful word, careful. It's being full of care. And in my mind, it's another example of an inversion. Be careful, there's danger in being full of care. Whereas, you know, we're called light workers. What is our association with work? So I'm going to say, I'm going with Jennifer on the be careful. Always be full of the care.
I think
Yeah.
it depends on what's loaded in that for you, and that might be an individual point to draw. I like be intentional.
Be
Because
intentional.
I agree. For me, I'm at a certain point where I'm vibrating high enough that I don't really worry about protection. I don't think about it unless I feel like I need to bring my dragons to me, and there they are, and all is well. But I'm intentional.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, if I can add to that, when we are in source and we are doing what we're meant to be doing and we are connected and we are channeling or whatever, usually I do agree with that we are in a place where we are protected by God, the angels, you know, all that stuff. But I also believe that sometimes when you are powerful and you have a lot to say and messages to get out, things can come to you that maybe are negative and want to stop you from being able to channel or get that message out or whatever. And I do think we need to be careful and thoughtful of our surroundings, our intentions, our what we're allowing into our inside of our space and our auras. It's really important to have a strong aura right now.
Mhm.
So that's all, like I'm saying when I say be careful, it's just make
Yeah.
sure you're buckled down and you're not letting things attach to you or pull you off your path. You know, you got to be thoughtful and concise in a sense of like, don't just be willy-nilly with your energy. You know, you've got
Right.
to know you're directing it and who's receiving it, kind of, and how they might not like it. And not that you have to walk around in fear, but just make sure that you have your protection around you. You zip up your energy. You make sure that nothing can get in, that your auras are strong. I've been getting this a lot lately, and we have to make sure our auras are very clean and strong.
Mm,
Intentional and aware are the words.
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So I love what you all said, everybody said. And I agree with you, Cynthia, of like that when you said that you're like, it's another inversion. I'm like, right. So that makes sense. And what I meant was that when we are in partnership with source energy, so intention, like as we go out in the world, you know, like I'll use the example of me being at Pioneer Park and they stole my Slinkies, right? I could have been a very different, like that was definitely in my space. It could have gone very differently. And what I did instead was I gave them one, and then I gave them another one. And later what I was told was that they were using the Slinkies, and I had to leave them because then that's how they're gonna infiltrate the energy of that park and that population was the Slinkies that I gave away. Now I could have been like immediately I was a little bummed because I was like, they stole my Slinkies, right? So that's all I'm saying is like, I could be in the energy of they stole my Slinkies, or I could be in the energy of like, what am I here to do? And just giving the Slinkies away and staying in that high vibration of like generosity and connection, human connection. So that was my only point, is like, I think it's gonna shift too. The more that we spend time in these we spend, the more we're in these higher vibrations and these other dimensions and these other energies, and that it's going to be less and less that we're going to have to give our energy to that protection or whatever that is. Like, it's just going to be inherent. It's going to be there. So that's my point. And I want to acknowledge it is 12:10. So thank you all for staying a little over. Anybody have anything they want to say to close out the call?
I just have a beautiful piece of, well, it's from, I went to the Sikh temple last night, and I don't know if you'll see the like holographic qualities of it.
No. Oh, but
So colorful.
how beautiful is he?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
after
I have
I
tingles
post the
right
link.
here.
Yeah.
Tingles, super strong tingles right here.
Oh, yeah,
When you
And
looked
he's
at
wearing
that,
gold, of course.
exactly. Gold was coming strongly today.
And look at his circle behind him, and look at this behind me, the colors.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that was the main thing that came while I was looking at it later on. I was thinking conduit of source, and
Yeah.
just the reminder of how beautiful source is, where we come from.
Yeah.
So maybe you can take a picture of it, Gray, and because I'm gonna post these
Yeah.
cards after I post the link. And feel free to share, you guys. Like, this is also this. Like, some of these calls that we've done are like powerful, really powerful, and have got a lot of information, and they're just not out there. So
Okay. Yeah.
and that's it for me. Thank you for sitting in and listening, Peter. I know this was like you didn't quite know what you were entering into, but
No, just for the benefit of the group, let me introduce myself. My name is Peter Horn. I'm a retired engineer, and I got more into this sort of activity through Lightworkers Toastmasters. Toastmasters has become almost a second career for me in retirement.
that's cool.
Lightworkers was a nice group of practitioners and other light workers. I like to think of it as those who know they are light workers and those who don't yet know they are light workers. Because almost everyone actually is.
Mm,
If you do nothing but redirect the energy just a little bit, in the physics sense, that's work. You've changed or altered the light. That's light work. Whether it's focusing or whether it's elevating the frequency or whatever. So I understand all of the language. I don't always know exactly what's being referred to because there's so many different things going on, especially as you get up into the higher planes.
mhm.
Yeah.
But the Toastmasters is a way to bridge the gap down to the lay folk that they hear these things and it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Thank you for
enjoyed
that.
listening. I've enjoyed listening to all of this, and I'll probably come back. Pardon my being late. For whatever reason, I thought the start time was 11:11.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, it kind of is. So we chat
Okay.
at the beginning. So
Gotcha.
thank you for coming today, Peter. Thank you for introducing yourself. I met Peter at my soul sister Tia's birthday party, and I did a tuning fork attunement and pulled some quick cards for Peter, and so we've made that connection. And I'm like, just stay tuned. There's more to come, So I love you all. Blessed be.
Love you.
And we'll see you very, very, very soon.
Mhm.
All right.
Much love.
So,
Bye.
Bye.